Mafia Don Atiq Ahmed's son killed in an encounter in Uttar Pradesh's Jhansi. UP police says big attack on convoy averted, sophisticated weapons recovered. Remand copy details Atiq Ahmed's Pakistan links, how he got weapons from Pakistan via drones. Yogi holds high-level meeting with DGP and top official lords police for action. Yogi holds high-level meet. Yogi's action rattles opposition. Akhilesh calls it fake, demands encounter to be investigated. BBC runs into deep trouble. ED begins probe against BBC over FEMA violations. Hello and welcome, you watching This Is Exclusive. Tonight the full focus on that big action taken by Uttar Pradesh police on the Mafia dump. This time Atiq Ahmed's son has now been encountered. This after UP police says that there is a clear Pakistan link. Tonight we'll tell you what's the Pakistan link. Police essentially indicates that there is a clear ISI link. Sophisticated weapons were actually recovered, and the fact of the matter is that these weapons were being brought in through drones. But before that, politics has already begun on this encounter. While on the one side, you have Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, essentially saying that the crackdown on Mafia in Uttar Pradesh will continue. That assurance was given by the Chief Minister on the floor of the Assembly. Today, he's lauded the police for the action that has been taken, but the principal opposition in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav, has once again taken on the BJP. He says that this is a fake encounter, and under the BJP, there is no rule of law. Let's first listen in to what Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav had to say.
उत्तर प्रदेश फेक इनकाउंटर का उत्तर प्रदेश बन गया है। उत्तर प्रदेश में फेक इनकाउंटर हैं। अधिकारी अपनी कुर्सी बचाने के लिए, अधिकारी अपना सब कुछ दांव पे रख करके सरकार के दबाव में ये घटनाएं कर रहे हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश फेक इनकाउंटर का उत्तर प्रदेश बन गया है। उत्तर प्रदेश में फेक इनकाउंटर हैं। अधिकारी अपनी कुर्सी बचाने के लिए, अधिकारी अपना सब कुछ दांव पे रख करके सरकार के दबाव में ये घटनाएं कर रहे हैं।
Well, that was Akhilesh Yadav taking on the Bharatiya Janata Party, saying that this was yet another fake encounter that was carried out by the BJP, and says that there is scant regard for the rule of law. In fact, there is a reason why this encounter was carried out. The very fact that they say that there was a larger conspiracy at play, and that was averted by the police, and that's the reason why the Chief Minister has now applauded the police for the timely action that was taken. But tonight we get you full details of the investigation that has been carried out so far and what's the link that is essentially emerging. In the remand copy that has been accessed by Republic TV, there is a clear mention of the fact that there was cross-border smuggling of weapons, and Atiq Ahmed himself was involved in it. His family members were involved, which also includes his son. Weapons were basically being smuggled, that too using drone, and there was a larger threat that was basically emerging. For more on this, I'm also joined by my colleague Vivek Rai from Lucknow, and also by my colleague Harsha, who's going to join us from Jhansi, getting us full details. She's also going to be live from the encounter spot. But let me quickly go across to Harsha for more details on that remand copy that has been accessed by Republic TV. Harsha, just walk us through the details that you're picking up. On the one hand, there is heavy political criticism that the Yogi government is facing as far as the reason behind this entire encounter, but UP police still says that there's a larger conspiracy at play and they've been able to avert an attack that was being planned, and the very fact that there was a cross-border weapon smuggling that was taking place. What more are you picking up?
Exactly, Shravan. Right in some time only I'll reach the encounter place, the Parchi area from where the encounter exactly happened of Asad and Ghulam. But from the remand copy, it's very clear that Atiq Ahmed also has a ISI link, because the drone through which the weapons were collected, he has huge amount of weapons with him which came from Pakistan side. That's in the remand copy. And if we see the earlier FIR, IPC charges which were registered against Atiq Ahmed and his brother Ashraf and the family members, in those murder and several other criminal activity charges have already been registered. So this is the fresh what we are gathering from the remand copy, that there is an ISI link. Not to forget, ED has also raided the close aides of Atiq Ahmed, the shell company's involvement, and a huge amount of money through Hawala route is also seen by ED, and a huge amount of cash which went in UP, and the criminal activities were taken by Atiq Ahmed during the Samajwadi Party tenure. It all happened through the Hawala route. And one more thing, Shravan, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav called it in this encounter fake, but not to forget that he was given a party ticket from the side of Samajwadi Party. He turned politician and he kneeled bureaucrats and the political system and the entire police system. He made the mockery of police system when he was a politician in the Samajwadi Party tenure. He has made mockery of entire system, misused his political power in the Samajwadi Party tenure. And when Yogi government came in power, it clearly mentioned that any gangster mafia, if will take law and order in their hand, they will not be seen in UP, and a massive crackdown will take place. And that has happened in the case of Asad and Ghulam as well. They were going, police got an intel, they were intercepted, there was a routine checkup, but UP STF didn't fire at first. There was open firing from the side of Asad first, and after that in the crossfire this encounter happened. The cash were recovered, the foreign made weapons were recovered, .455 bore weapon was recovered, and there was a P88 pistol which was recovered, and the bike in which Asad and Ghulam were there, that bike had no number plate on it. It was very clear the intel was also that they were planning to disrupt the entire convoy of Atiq which came from Sabarmati and was going to Prayagraj. They had a huge planning, and for that also Asad from past 1.5 months was continuously changing his location from Prayagraj to Kanpur to Jhansi, and he also has come to Meerut and Delhi as well. And after the proper intel, this massive crackdown against this accused Asad has taken place, who is involved in the Umesh Pal murder which happened on 24th of February in a broad daylight, when the bomb was fired by Gujju Muslim, and the gunshots were made on Umesh Pal, who was a key witness in 2005 Raju Pal BSP leader's murder case. And from that time onwards, we are seeing that Atiq has always misused the power he got in the time of Samajwadi Party tenure. And this entire massive crackdown has also been appreciated by Yogi government, as he has congratulated his own deputy SP as 12 members of UP STF has nabbed this accused, and then later encounter has happened. Shravan, back to you.
Right. Let me also quickly go across to my colleague Vivek Rai, who's going to join us from Lucknow. Vivek, का साफ तरीके से कहीं ना कहीं जिस तरह से निशाना साधा जा रहा है योगी सरकार के ऊपर कि किस तरह से एनकाउंटर का एक कल्चर बन रहा है, बट इस वक्त अगर पुलिस की ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स देखें, रिमांड की नोट देखें, वहाँ साफ तरीके से जिक्र किया गया है कि पाकिस्तान की लिंक जो है ISI के साथ जो लिंक निकल कर आ रहा है, उसके बारे में आपके पास क्या जानकारी है?
देखिए, जो पाकिस्तानी लिंक की बात निकल के सामने आई है, वो कल पुलिस ने पूछताछ की थी जब असद को लाया, जब माफ़ करके जब अतीक को जब लाया जा रहा था तो 161 के तहत जो अतीक का बयान हुआ है उसमें अतीक ने ये जानकारियां साझा की हैं कि जो वेपन्स वो इस्तेमाल करता था वो वेपन्स पाकिस्तानी वेपन्स थे और पाकिस्तान से ड्रोन के माध्यम से जो वेपन्स पंजाब की सीमा में लाए जाते थे उन वेपन्स को वहाँ के कुछ लोगों से अवैध तौर पर वो ख़रीदता था और वो जो फॉरेन मेड वेपन्स थे वो तमाम वेपन्स उसको पाकिस्तानी से जो ड्रोन के माध्यम चीज़ें आती थी उसको पंजाबी अपने एक हैंडलर से वो तमाम ये चीज़ें ख़रीदता था। और हमने ये भी देखा था कि जब उमेश पाल की हत्या हुई थी उसमें किस तरीके से जो वेपन्स इस्तेमाल हुए थे वो विदेशी थे और इसके साथ साथ आज जब असद जिसका एनकाउंटर हुआ है उसके पास से किस तरीके से तमाम विदेशी वेपन्स निकले हैं। तो कुल मिलाकर के ये कहा जाए कि अतीक अहमद का उसका जो साम्राज्य 44 साल से जिस तरीके से तमाम FIR उसके ऊपर थी, 100 से अधिक FIR उत्तर प्रदेश में उसके ऊपर दर्ज थी और इसमें तमाम जो आपराधिक घटनाएं उसने की थी या उसके लोगों ने की थी, उसके गुर्गों ने की थी, उसमें जिन हथियारों का इस्तेमाल हो रहा था वो पाकिस्तानी हथियार थे और कहीं ना कहीं इसी से ISI का जो लिंक है वो निकल के सामने। और आपको ये भी बताऊँ कि आज की जो रिमांड कॉपी में ये बात साफ लिखी गई है कि अतीक ने ये बात कही है, अतीक और अशरफ ने, कि उनको वहाँ के लोगों के नाम तो नहीं पता लेकिन अगर उनके चेहरे दिखाए जाएंगे तो उनके चेहरे से वो उनकी पहचान कर लेगा कि कौन वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने ये जो तमाम मसले हैं वो उसको प्रोवाइड कराए हैं। इसलिए ये माना जा रहा है कि आने वाले कुछ दिनों में ये भी संभव है कि अतीक को लेकर के पंजाब भी उत्तर प्रदेश की पुलिस जा सकती है और उन जगहों पर भी जा सकती है जहाँ से उसको ये असलहे मिलते थे या जहाँ से वो ये असलहे ख़रीदता था। और ये अपने आप में एक बड़ा क्रैकडाउन है क्योंकि हमने देखा कि किस तरीके से पिछले 44 साल से माफिया अतीक अहमद का पूरा साम्राज्य था यहाँ पर और उसका जो सबसे बड़ा कारोबार था वो लोगों को धमका करके उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज़ को अपने कब्ज़े में करना। किसी की प्रॉपर्टी की कीमत अगर 10 करोड़ रुपए है तो अतीक उसको धमका करके उस प्रॉपर्टी को 1-1.5 करोड़ रुपए में उसको लिखवाता था या अपने गुर्गों के नाम उसको करवाता था और इसी से कहीं ना कहीं पूरा का पूरा जो उसका काला धंधे का जो साम्राज्य था वो लगातार बढ़ रहा था और तमाम आपराधिक घटनाएं जिसमें मर्डर से लेकर के तमाम लूट छिनैती जैसी घटनाएं हैं वो अतीक और उसके गुर्गों के नाम पर दर्ज थी। और इसके साथ साथ सबसे बड़ा जो हत्याकांड राजूपाल हत्याकांड जो 2005 में हुआ था वो एक बड़ा धब्बा था अतीक और अशरफ के ऊपर और उसके बाद फिर 2006 में जिस तरीके से अशरफ का किडनैपिंग हुई थी। जी
Let me also go across to my colleague Vivek Rajodia, who's joining us from Jhansi, the very place where the encounter was actually carried out. Vivek, ये बताइए कि जो एनकाउंटर को लेकर कई सारे सवाल उठाए जा रहे कि आखिरकार क्या ज़रूरत थी एनकाउंटर करने की झांसी में। आपको क्या जानकारी मिल रही है लोकल पुलिस वालों से जब आप बात कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह से जो थ्रेट था इस पूरे कॉन्वॉय के मूवमेंट को लेकर, इसके बारे में आपके पास क्या जानकारी है और एनकाउंटर स्पॉट से अगर जहाँ से आप रिपोर्ट करें उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए।
जी बिल्कुल, मैं आपको बता दूं जिस जगह इस समय मैं मौजूद हूं बिल्कुल एनकाउंटर वाली जगह है। ठीक है, इसी जगह जहां आप देख सकते हैं लोग यहां खड़े हुए हैं, देखने आ रहे हैं किस तरह से जो अतीक का बेटा अशरफ है असद है उसका एनकाउंटर किया गया है। यहाँ STF को ये जो सफलता हाथ लगी है वो बहुत बड़ी सफलता हाथ लगी है क्योंकि जिस तरह से असद जो है बार बार भाग रहा था, हर 48 घंटे में अपनी लोकेशन को चेंज कर रहा था, STF लगातार दबिश दे रही थी। लगभग 18 जिलों में STF ने दबिश दी है। दबिश देने के बाद जब STF को ये जानकारी लगी कि असद का बेटा अशरफ का बेटा असद जो यहाँ मौजूद है वो उसको लेकर लगातार पुलिस जो है बिल्कुल गोपनीय तरीके से उसके पीछे लगी रही और जब STF ने उसको रोकने का प्रयास किया, नहीं रुका और उसने बताया, जब STF के वहाँ जब जवान मौजूद तो उन्होंने ये बताया है कि इनको रोकने का प्रयास वो STF की तरफ से नहीं चलाई गई, लेकिन इनको जब रोका तो ये रोके नहीं, इन्होंने पुलिस पार्टी पर फायरिंग की है। पुलिस पार्टी पर फायरिंग को लेकर STF ने आत्मरक्षण किया और इन पर फायरिंग की, जहां असद और इसके साथ साथ इसका जो शार्प शूटर था गुलाम, ये दोनों मुठभेड़ में ढेर हो गए हैं। बिल्कुल ये ठीक वही जगह है जहां मुठभेड़ हुई। मुठभेड़ में असद और उसका साथी जो है गुलाम, दोनों को मार गिराया गया है। अभी झांसी के मेडिकल कॉलेज में दोनों की बॉडी को रखा गया है, पोस्टमार्टम के लिए भेजा गया है। लगातार यहाँ से जो तस्वीरें हम अपने दर्शकों को दिखा रहे हैं और इसके साथ साथ मैं आपको बता दूं कि जिस तरह से ये जो प्रक्रिया चल रही थी, ये बहुत बड़ी प्रक्रिया चल रही थी। कहीं ना कहीं सूत्रों के हवाले ये खबर भी मिल रही है कि जो जिस तरह से अतीक अहमद को जो प्रयागराज से लाया जा रहा था, साबरमती से जब प्रयागराज की तरफ ले जाया जा रहा था, तो असद को और असद को और उसके गुलाम को
पूरी ये जानकारी मिल रही थी कि प्रेजेंट का जो लोकेशन है वो कहाँ है। इनकी एक प्री प्लानिंग थी कि कहीं पुलिस कस्टडी से इनको छुड़ा लिया जाए और यहाँ से भाग लिया जाए, जिसको लेकर एसटीएफ बिल्कुल सतर्क रही, स्थानीय प्रशासन सतर्क रहा। लेकिन यदि हम बात करें यहाँ के स्थानीय प्रशासन की, तो कोई भी स्थानीय प्रशासन का कोई भी आला अधिकारी ये कहने को तैयार नहीं है और कोई भी कुछ इस मामले में बोलने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। कहीं ना कहीं जो ये एनकाउंटर है वो गोपनीय तरीके से किया गया, लेकिन मीडिया कर्मियों को जब इसकी जानकारी मिली वहां मौके पर पहुंचे और सारी जो है खबर उठाई गई। लेकिन यदि हम बात करें पुलिस महकमे की, तो पुलिस महकमा पूर्ण रूप से खामोश है, कुछ भी बताने को तैयार नहीं है। जी
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. That was my colleague Vivek reporting from the encounter side, getting more details of how it was carried out. Inevitably, it has now attracted a lot of political criticism, but Yogi government stands firm on the decision that has essentially been taken. In fact, the CMO was briefed about the encounter and the reasons behind it. We'll get you more details. Shifting focus now to that other big exclusive coming in on Atiq Ahmed. This time, central agencies have also now stepped in. Earlier in the day, a massive crackdown was carried out by the Enforcement Directorate. It is now given to understand that seizures have essentially been made by the Enforcement Directorate. The extortion racket that was being carried out by Atiq Ahmed. It turns out that land belonging to farmers were being grabbed by Atiq Ahmed. In fact, 100 sale deeds have now been seized by the Enforcement Directorate. It does turn out that farmers were being threatened by Atiq Ahmed and his gang so that the land could be grabbed, and this was given at a lower cost to businessmen. In fact, it turns out the top businessmen in the state of Uttar Pradesh have now come under the scanner of the central agency, those who were working very closely with Atiq Ahmed and his gang. In fact, on your screens in a short while from now, we'll also put out the pictures of those 100 sale deeds that have been seized by the Enforcement Directorate. And it turns out that some very big businessmen who have also been called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. Let me just get a quick word now coming in from my colleague Harsha, who's been tracking the story very closely. Harsha, it turns out not just the UP police, but now the central agencies have also stepped in. The bigger aspect emerging from the investigation that has been carried out on Atiq Ahmed is the fact that farmers' land was being grabbed by Atiq Ahmed. Extortion was being carried out by Atiq Ahmed. And not just that, there were certain businessmen who were beneficiaries of this entire extortion that was being carried out by Atiq Ahmed. What more details are you now picking up?
Shravan, we get to know that there's more to the criminal activity of Atiq, not just the right or murder or the small criminal activities, but much more. Because right now, what initially we got to know that the raid regarding shell companies were happened on the close aid, but now the biggest news which we are getting is that the extortion racket was being run by Atiq Ahmed. In his political and the mafia gangster career of almost like 15 to 20 years, Shravan, he has done lot more in UP, and his arms were not only in UP but in different states as well. Lands were grabbed forcefully from farmers through builders, and farmers were extorted and their lands were taken at a much lower price, and sometimes the price was also not given. They were extorted, they were threatened, they were blackmailed by Atiq Ahmed. He used to use his political power and his mafia power in order to threaten all the farmers. Now the central agencies has stepped in to investigate more into this. That means that there could be more charges could be framed in future against Atiq Ahmed, as now there has been Hawala connection, there has been ISI connection, and now the extortion racket which has come now in light, that there was extortion racket, lands were grabbed forcefully from the farmers, and it could be more because Shravan, it was not only in UP but in other states as well. Atiq was in touch with the businessmen and the builders who were directly involved in connection to grab those lands of farmers forcibly by threatening them. Shravan, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. In fact, a story that we'll be tracking very closely. The inside details of that encounter that was carried out earlier in the day by the Uttar Pradesh police. On the other side, we get you the promise that was essentially made by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, that a crackdown on the Mafia dump in Uttar Pradesh will be completely eradicated. Politics have begun after Atiq's son's encounter. Samajwadi Party questioned the Mafia Don's son's encounter. They termed this encounter as injustice.
Did you have to face similar circumstances as Babita did?
First of all, I'm very lucky to have parents like them. Started badminton just as fun. Now people ask me, why not volleyball? You know, your parents being volleyball players, didn't they encourage you in volleyball? But for me, it was just that in whichever sport I was interested in, they always supported me. And I think they've done a lot of sacrifices for me. I'm very thankful to them, because I would just say that because of them, I'm here today. They always taught me, like when I used to lose my matches, they were like, you know, it's not just over, but this is only the starting for you, and there's more way to go on. And that's how they encouraged me, and you know, step by step I've been improving, and I'm here.
दशकों पुरानी समस्याओं का समाधान होते हुए आज देश अपनी आंखों के सामने देख रहा है। और कभी कभी लोग कह भी रहे हैं कि हमने सोचा नहीं था कि हम जीते जी ये देख पाएंगे। ऐसा कई लोग कहते हैं, और इसके दो प्रमुख कारण हैं। पहला, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों का आत्मविश्वास, जो कहता है यस, इट इज इंडियाज मोमेंट। और दूसरा, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों की सोच, जो कहती है नेशन फर्स्ट।
Data is our wealth and we are giving it away. How do you view that argument?
Fallacious. Absolutely wrong. Fundamentally, I think that if you think about the world, I believe that the world will have to move from an aggregator model to a distributor model. If I give you a fixed deposit locker, right, and you put your money, which is your data, in my locker, it doesn't become mine, that I can take that money, gamble on the stock market. If I have gains, I'll take it. I'll still say I've given you back your 100 rupees. That doesn't work, right? Fundamentally, your data is yours. I can, if I use it or monetize it in any way, I have to transparently share with you the gains of that.
Dear viewers, in a few days we are bringing to you once again the Republic Summit. And this year our theme is fittingly about how this is a time of transformation. Yes, this is a time of transformation for an India that is growing 4 times faster than the world average. It is a time of transformation for an India whose manufacturing exports grow 40% year on year on the back of COVID, while China witnesses a major loss. This is a time of transformation, of opportunity for India that has let go of the dollar hangover, and the rupee is closer to being accepted as international currency. And nearly 60% of all digital payments are already UPI based. Isn't this the very moment to come together and think of how we can make the transformation even quicker? So please join me and join all of us at Republic TV as we bring to you the Republic Summit this year on the theme of a time of transformation. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, 47 days ago, there was a promise that was made by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath that there would be a complete crackdown on Mafia-dom in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And now an encounter has been carried out of a man who had clear links with Pakistan's ISI. In fact, it turns out cross-border smuggling of weapons were taking place, but it has also attracted a lot of political criticism. Samajwadi Party has now hit out at the BJP government in the state, saying that there is scant regard for the rule of law. Listen in to what the Chief Minister had to say.
जिस अतीक अहमद के खिलाफ पीड़ित परिवारों ने मुकदमा दर्ज कराया उसके परिवार के खिलाफ, वह समाजवादी पार्टी के द्वारा पोषित माफिया है और उसकी कमर को तोड़ने का काम हमारी सरकार ने किया है। और फिर मैं कह रहा हूं, इसे हम इस माफिया को मिट्टी में मिला देंगे।
हमारा परिवार पूरी तरह से बर्बाद हो गया। और एक सवाल कोई कर रहा था, अरे मुंह तो दिखाइए यार, माफिया की समाप्ति पहले ही हो चुकी थी, अब तो खाली रगड़ा जा रहा है।
Why you say that elections don't matter? Because you cannot win elections.
There is one of the fundamental fallacies of humanity is to think that electoral victories validate everything. I certainly don't intend to compare governments and individuals. Errors are errors, whether they are made by majority governments or not majority governments.
दशकों पुरानी समस्याओं का समाधान होते हुए आज देश अपनी आंखों के सामने देख रहा है। और कभी कभी लोग कह भी रहे हैं कि हमने सोचा नहीं था कि हम जीते जी ये देख पाएंगे। ऐसा कई लोग कहते हैं और इसके दो प्रमुख कारण हैं। पहला, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों का आत्मविश्वास जो कहता है यस, इट इज इंडियाज मोमेंट। और दूसरा, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों की सोच जो कहती है नेशन फर्स्ट।
Data is our wealth and we are giving it away. How do you view that argument?
Fallacious. Absolutely wrong. Fundamentally, I think that if you think about the world, I believe that the world will have to move from an aggregator model to a distributor model. If I give you a fixed deposit locker, right, and you put your money, which is your data, in my locker, it doesn't become mine, that I can take that money, gamble on the stock market. If I have gains, I'll take it. I'll still say I've given you back your 100 rupees. That doesn't work, right? Fundamentally, your data is yours. I can, if I use it or monetize it in any way, I have to transparently share with you the gains of that.
Dear viewers, in a few days we are bringing to you once again the Republic Summit. And this year our theme is fittingly about how this is a time of transformation. Yes, this is a time of transformation for an India that is growing 4 times faster than the world average. It is a time of transformation for an India whose manufacturing exports grow 40% year on year on the back of COVID, while China witnesses a major loss. This is a time of transformation, of opportunity for India that has let go of the dollar